Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Hey, beautiful soul family. It is Hannah Love. I am a psychic medium, mindset and manifestation coach, and Theta Healing Practitioner. And I help light workers become rich as fuck so they can truly become abundant in all areas of their life, so they can go out and help others become abundant and wealthy, so we can really bridge the gap between heaven and earth and anchor in the new earth for all of humanity, which is happening right now as we speak. It is beautiful. And so today I wanted to talk about transmuting karma and how to basically rid ourselves of karmic patterns, and how to heal our karma so we don't have to keep repeating the same patterns and keep having to pay for it. So a lot of us have come to this earth. You could call yourself a starseed, an Arcturian, a Lumerian. You could call yourself a light worker, an indigo child, star child, whatever it is. We're all multidimensional. We may have all been those, or all simultaneously those, through different dimensions and realities, but I'm not going to get into that today. Whatever you want to call yourself, a lot of us healers, I'll just sum it up by saying healers, it is just a label, to be honest, to come here to anchor in the new earth and shine our light so others can shine their light and feel safe to shine their own light, so we can all live in our own purpose to help humanity ascend, so we can live in unity and in joy and freedom and abundance and so forth. And so a lot of us healers and starseeds and whatnot have been born into families that are not, maybe you felt like your life was hard, maybe you felt like you've been through a lot, and so you were, or maybe you were just born into a family where you felt like the black sheep and like no one understood you, and you felt like understood of your whole life. Maybe you feel like you came here with a bigger purpose and plan. Maybe you didn't really understand what that always was your whole life, but you knew you weren't necessarily from this planet, and you kind of always felt like an alien. Maybe you alienated yourself and isolated and just thought you were too weird or different. And it's because you came here to anchor in the new earth. You are a multidimensional being. You've lived on other planets, or you could even be like a new being. But so we were born into families where we feel so different because we were born into those families in order to heal the karmic patterns, to heal the traumas and the limited beliefs, so we can heal the future generations ahead of us. So the future generations, and this generation right now, right here as we are speaking, as you are watching this, is who is bringing in the new earth so we can live in love and in peace, and bring human beings of all races, and even other worldly alien beings together as one, so we can ascend, so the planet Earth can heal. Because when one planet is affected, the entire planet, all of the other planets in the universes are affected, because we're all connected. So that's why that is happening right now, while we are ascending, so the universe can live in unity and ascend and rise together, because we're all equal and we're all connected. So in order to transmute karmas, number one is forgiveness. Like beings like Jesus Christ came here to teach us forgiveness. That's why, like in the Bible, they talk about Jesus forgiving us for our sins. Whether you call yourself a Christian or not, I'm not a Christian. I just say that I'm spiritual. he was an ascended master that came here to teach us things like compassion, forgiveness, unconditional love. So when we are able to forgive ourselves and forgive others, that can transmute karma, because we are letting go of the traumas and the emotional ties and the beliefs tied to the what needs to be forgiven. Essentially, it is removing the emotional charge from it, and the vibration that is so compacted together and really dense and heavy and low vibrational. It doesn't feel good, So when we forgive, we're breaking up the vibration, and we're allowing space for love. We're allowing space for compassion. We're seeing other people through the eyes of the Creator. We're seeing that and understanding that, I'm a human too. I've also made mistakes. I've also hurt others. And when you're forgiving, yourself, first of all, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. The more that you practice forgiveness for yourself, the more that you can do that for others. Because you can only help other people as much as you've helped yourself. The more that you forgive yourself and see other people through the eyes of the Creator, the less judgment that you create towards yourself and towards others. The less you get angry. Things don't upset you as much anymore because you are forgiving them. You're seeing them through the eyes of the Creator, and you're like, okay, they're a human being too. I've also made mistakes, and so have they. But the Creator doesn't. So, source energy, or the universe, does not have duality like humans do. Humans have duality where there's good and bad, right or wrong, evil, angelic. They're polar opposites of each other. And for the universe, that doesn't exist. The only vibration is love, and that is it. So the universe doesn't see people or things as good or bad or right or wrong. It just sees it through the eyes of love and understands it from a higher perspective. And so when we are able to forgive, we are seeing other people and ourselves from that higher perspective of, there's no such thing as good, bad, right, or wrong. It's just a human concept, because we are humans and we came here in this human bodies to try to conceptualize, who the fuck are we? Or what am I doing here? It's how we conceptualize and understand things. That's why we put labels on things, or that's why we have right and wrong, good or bad, etc., etc. And the Creator just sees everyone and everything through the eyes of love, of unity, and that's it. So that's one way we can transmute karma, but we also have to understand what it is that we're forgiving or letting go of or showing compassion and love for, by understanding, okay, why did I go through this? Owning and acknowledging and taking accountability that you're the creator of your own reality too, with the help of source energy, and that you came here to Earth knowing that you were going to go through certain things, learning different experiences. And so when you're able to see it from, I chose to do this, and when you have that realization, a lot of emotions are going to come up. You're going to get angry with yourself. You're going to be upset. You're going to be resentful towards you and even towards the other people. Because you're going to probably think why would I choose to go through all these things? Like some people, have been sexually abused. I've been there, I've been abused. And maybe people get in car accidents or terrible things that happen. So you're like, why the hell would I choose to do that? Because we came here to learn different virtues. And in order to master these virtues, we have to go through certain things and experiences to master these virtues, like love, compassion, joy, freedom, and so forth. But we're understanding now that we don't have to suffer in order to master those virtues, because source energy, the Creator who only operates through love and sees us through the eyes of love, does not want us to learn the hard way. Source energy doesn't want us to learn through pain and through suffering and experiencing these low, vibrational consciousnesses. Consciousness just means an awareness. You know, they don't. The Creator doesn't want us to suffer and learn the hard way. He wants us to learn the easy way through love. So how do we do that? We go back to the trauma or the experience that we had. Let's say you. Let me think of one that I went through. So let's see. Okay. This is a pretty broad one, but let's say you incarnated into this life and you have a parent who's really abusive and who is very controlling, and you can't speak your truth. And so you grew up believing that that was love. And so you ended up being with people who are controlling, who wouldn't let you speak your truth. So you were learning how to love. That was the virtue that you were learning, how to love other people. But you were learning what love is and what love isn't. So you were learning, okay, love, you're going through life and going through these relationships like, wow, why do I keep dating all these people who are really controlling? Because you were taught at a young age that love is controlling. That love doesn't allow you to speak your truth. So then you go into these relationships and you're like, wow, I feel like I can never stand up for myself. I can't speak my truth without getting shut down. I can't speak my truth without trying to be controlled, or my partner's so controlling. It's because you're like a parent of yours was controlling and wouldn't let you speak your truth, and you were learning how to love, and you were learning what love is and what love is not. But here's the thing, we don't have to learn the hard way by being controlled and by suffering. And a lot of us are starting to incarnate now and understand this level of consciousness. And so what you do is you go back to when you first experienced, being controlled, and how old you were, and the situation that happened, and what you were learning from the situation. When you could understand the virtues that you were learning love, you were learning, what love really is. You were learning maybe compassion, because you were learning that you were trying to see them through the eyes of the Creator and understanding, okay, well, this is my parents' version of love because that's what happened to them growing up. So that is maybe teaching you compassion, to have compassion for your parents, even though it doesn't feel good, for you. So then, how do you master those virtues without having to learn the hard way? What you have to do is you go into the time where you first experienced it and you pull the program. You release all the vows, commitments, and obligations that you took on, that you decided where you had to be controlled in order to learn love. And it's literally instant. It can be instant as long as you're just acknowledging it and you're aware of it. When you have that awareness, you're able to remove that and install it with, okay, I know what compassion, or what love and compassion is through the eyes of the Creator, and I've completed these lessons. And you have to complete the lessons so you don't keep repeating them. Because if you were taught and learned that love is controlling and love is you can't speak your truth, and you're going to keep repeating those patterns of dating people like that. So you have to go into the root of it when it first was created. Who taught you that? What experience did you have from it? When did that first happen? And then complete and mark the lessons. And that's what I do through Theta Healing. That's why it's instant, because the Creator is doing the healing. We're acknowledging the program and the virtues being learned, and then you're healing it so you don't have to keep repeating those cycles over and over again, and then installing that you can learn the easy way. But so that is how you can heal karmic patterns without continuing to repeat them. But obviously, once you remove one layer, there's more and more layers. So this is like a continuous thing, but it's important for us to be aware, because the more aware that we are, that's when we can heal and acknowledge the trauma or the limitation that we have. So we're able to transmute it into completing the lessons, marking them complete, so we don't have to keep repeating these karmic cycles. So we don't have to live in our parents' karmic cycles, because all of the all of the beliefs and the traumas and the emotions that our ancestors experienced, they all get passed down to us because it is within our DNA and on our genetics. It is in our core, on our soul level, and that's why a lot of us came here to heal that, so the generations ahead of us can mark those lessons complete, so we don't have to keep repeating these karmic patterns. So that's how you can do that. You complete the lessons, you acknowledge where the lessons are coming from, practice forgiveness for yourself and others, seeing others through the eyes of the Creator. And the more that you become aware and that you practice living in love, showing yourself love, practicing self-love for yourself and others, then you don't have to keep repeating these karmic patterns, because source energy doesn't want us to pay for our mistakes. Source, which is unconditional love, doesn't want us to learn the hard way. Source doesn't want us to have to pay for our mistakes or have to suffer. It wants us to live in love and happiness and joy, but the only beings who can do that is ourselves, because we were given free will. Because we were given free will, it is up to us whether we want to heal the karmic patterns or not. So I hope that helps. I love you all so much, and you enjoy the rest of your day or evening or wherever you are. I'm sending you lots of love and abundance and happiness.